All right, we continue our coverage of today's jobs report with another example of a company that is hiring. This one is a privately held tech company which has added 3,500 jobs since the market bottom in 2009. Cristobal Conde is the CEO of SunGard Data Systems. The software company caters to the financial services industry and has more than 22,000 employees working in the U.S., Europe, and Asia. Chris, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
Let's talk about hiring. We just talked with a gentleman who runs a much smaller business, but has said that he is hiring more in Mexico and China now for production because he can't get capital quickly enough. He can't move through the bureaucratic red tape here in the U.S. as quickly as he can, oddly enough, in communist China and in Mexico. Do you have the same kind of experiences?
Well, yes and no. For us, we see the job situation very much as the haves versus the have-nots. And in specialized skills like risk management, compliance, that job market is red hot. So we have to stay in the U.S. in Europe because that's where people that really know that kind of stuff are.
So the higher education level, those jobs you find here and in Europe. What about when you're looking for capital to boost your business? You make a lot of acquisitions. I think you've gone through 170 acquisitions to put this company together. Do you find this financing environment relatively easy?
Yes, the financing environment is much easier right now than the M&A environment, which is tougher actually. So
why is that? Because valuations?
No, it's just that for financing of quality companies and the market leaders within each sector, it's very easy to line up financing. So on the other hand, the M&A picture, there's a lot of people there still with unrealistic expectations of value. So their
prices are too high, is what you're saying?
Prices are too high relative to the expectations. You know, IT spending growth isn't that hot. You know, so it's...
And why is that? You know, at the beginning of this year, every fund manager Carol and I spoke with was hot on tech because he expected IT spending to shoot through the roof, and it really hasn't panned out, has it?
We never said that. We never thought that. We thought it would be more or less a continuation of the tough environment, and that is, I mean, to me, the two characteristics of a better market start out with a shortening of sales cycles and producers having some kind of pricing pressure, pricing control. And neither one of those two factors exists right now. So I would say we've been through a tough year, and I think it's going to be another tough year coming up.
It's going to be another tough year coming up. Does that mean you're not going to be hiring, or you are hiring?
We expect to continue to be hiring on the basis of competitive market share wins. We are...
Sounds like a lot of CEO talk. So you're saying what, just to stay competitive, that you've got to keep hiring?
No, we're taking market share. So to support that growth, we will need to hire.
From Oracle and SAP?
From small, yeah, and lots of small competitors. I mean, Oracle and SAP are also significant partners, you know, but mostly from small vendors. And partly it's that our solutions are more mission critical than most. And partly they're just better. So,
I mean, how much uncertainty? You know, Matt and I think talked about this a little bit earlier with an earlier guest about how much uncertainty you feel though when you look at the environment because of not quite sure what's going to come out of Washington on so many different fronts.
To me, the uncertainty from Washington is not what drives my wanting to really not invest way ahead of the curve. To me, the uncertainty is more around the sales cycle. I would like to see the sales cycle start to get shorter. That's typically what you see in the beginning of a recovery. I would like to see us getting some more price control. You know, the ability to set price. Right now, we're having to discount more and more. So to me, it's that uncertainty as opposed to uncertainty from Washington.
But what are you hearing from your clients? I mean, why aren't they boosting the IT spend? You have the products to make their business easier, grow faster, with less human resources costs. Why aren't they making that investment?
They're making those investments, but they're also expecting price reductions on the typical straight renewal. So it's negative price control. Basically, there's a deflation going on in pricing. The prices are getting cheaper and cheaper every day. And that has always been the case in technology, but it's even more so now. So basically, to us, we fight the price compression, but competitive market share wins propel us to overall growth, and that's why we've been hiring. And it feels good to be hiring.
Okay, and again, you're hiring here and overseas.
Correct. Okay. We're hiring here and overseas.
All right, good to know. All right, Chris, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Cristobal Conde, the CEO of SunGard, everybody.